Hello guys and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today we are covering another article from the Warhammer community website. I know what you're thinking. You're back on the Warhammer community website. I am, and the reasons are twofold. Firstly, and most importantly, it's an easy source of content that I don't have to do a lot of editing for. Secondly, you guys have actually said in both comments and via, conversations that we have on the many Facebook groups I'm on, that you guys actually like it when we cover the Warhammer community page articles. I think it's because I read them out so you don't have to, and, that's easier for you guys. I don't know, but we've got a lot of positive feedback from them, so we're going to continue to do them. But I will stress it's only on articles that appeal to me anyway. We're not just changing to a Games Workshop news website, a channel where we just read their articles on a daily basis. It just so happens they've been releasing a lot of stuff that I actually am into recently. Kill Team, AoS 2, more Kill Team, lots of Kill Team. The Cawdor stuff from Necromunda, some new Shadespire stuff, which is now obviously Warhammer Underworld stuff. Well, always was Underworld, but I mean now that they're moving from Shadespire to a different point, I think we have to just start calling it Underworld. It's going to be hard, but I think together we can do it. And now this article, which covers the Beasts of Chaos, or formerly Beastmen. So this article was posted on the 26th of the 8th, 2018, but by the time you're watching this, if you're watching it as soon as it goes up, it'll most likely be the 27th, because this may shock you guys, but I actually have a queue of stuff to upload. Who would have thought that if you put content out, other people would start to watch it, and then you'd want to make more content? But we've got to a bit of a backlog of articles and stuff that we've covered kind of going up, and we're just trying to get them up as the news and stuff is breaking. Sometimes to mixed and varied speeds. But anyway, by the time this goes up, you should already know about it, and it'll be old news, but you can watch it anyway to hear my take on it for what it is worth. So it's been a tumultuous time in the mortal realms of late. The citizens of the free cities have had to deal with ghostly apocalypses of the soul wars, unbound spells rampaging across the land, and now an old threat has re-emerged. From the wild places of the realms, the true children of chaos return, and they have not come alone. Alongside vast hordes of savage beastmen come hulking mutants and towering monsters, ready to lay low any trace of civilization and return the lands to the primal grip of the dark gods. So yes, I'm going to just stop there while I'm on a roll, and just sort of, as I said, I'm only going to cover articles that appeal to me. Just so happens that they were released towards the end of 7th edition Fantasy, where I was working on Skaven and High Elves because I knew they were coming in the 8th edition box set, and that carried me right the way through 8th edition, to be honest. Except towards the end I did a Dark Elf army when their book came out, and then I turned my sights towards the Beastmen, and I started to amass quite a large Beastmen army. If you are friends with me personally on Facebook, you can actually go into my photo section, and there's a file, and there's a folder called Beastmen, and you can see the progress that I was making on that army when Warhammer Fantasy Battle all came crashing down, and obviously they did the End Times, and then Age of Sigmar came, and in my tantrum, any armies that I hadn't finished I was working on, I just sold off. It was very petty, don't judge. But I did. So there was the Beastmen, Dark Elves, a few other armies that I'd kind of half painted up and half done conversion things. I sold them all off. As it happened, I then invested it in other games. So it didn't go to waste. That's where I got a lot of my Hail Caesar stuff from. And a number of other historical stuff. So it all worked out well in the end. So Beastmen were an army that I was kind of, obviously, I had a bit of a love for. Enough that I threw a tantrum when I couldn't use them in Warhammer Fantasy Battles. And I know I can still use them. I've still got all the books and stuff. But if no one else is playing it, it's hard to really play. I suppose I could play with myself, just like Alan does. But it's not the same. And so Alan tells me anyway. But anyway, back to the article. So, this battle tome deals with more than just the Bray herds. It compiles many of the bestial creatures of chaos into a single unholy tome, including Bulgors, Dragon Ogres, Zangor, and more besides. Beast of Chaos Force represents the untamed, inhuman nature of chaos. Is all its glory? I do believe that's meant to say in all its glory. Let's read that sentence together. If you want to play along at home, I'll do it on 3. So, 3, 2, 1. A beast of chaos force represents the untamed, inhuman nature of chaos. Is all its glory. That should be an in, shouldn't it? Come on, Warhammer community website. Now, I expect this from the guys writing the codexes. I expect this from the guys writing the rulebooks, because some of your spelling and grammar errors are terrible within those publications. But this, a free article, was probably written with 10 minutes notice. I expect more of you. Do you not have Word, spell check, grammar check? In fact, I have this thing. This isn't an advert, by the way. I'm not in any way endorsed by these. Grammarly. Grammarly. You can get a free trial of it, and then I think, I don't know, it's dirt cheap per month. But it'll keep you right. Just get it for your computer, I swear to God. And we wouldn't get things like this. One more time, people. If you want to play along at home, you can. I'm not going to count this time, though. A beast of chaos force represents the untamed, inhuman nature of chaos. Is all its glory. Indeed. A single army with powerful overlapping allegiance, abilities, magical laws, and spells. Now, ripping apart that one little word error aside, I think this is a fantastic idea to lump things like Dragon Ogres and Zangors in with beasts. Because it fits. It's very thematic. It gives them a lot more units to choose from. And it gives us guys who are modelling and painting, it gives us a good excuse to get some stuff that maybe we'd had our eyes on but didn't fit with what we were doing before. So I think it can only be a good thing. And we are going to come back and look at this picture in great detail in a minute, after I've read this sentence. Because I have read this whole article. To be honest, the first time I read it, I didn't spot the spelling mistake. Is it spelled as a grammar mistake? Word mistake? There is instead of the in. I didn't spot that the first time, so it just shows that most of the time you just skim read stuff anyway. But anyway, it says here, and there are some new models on the way in the form of new terrain and endless spells. So, and this picture kind of confirms it, it looks like we're not getting any actual new miniatures, because these are the hounds that got released with Warriors of Chaos in 7th edition. Ungor, Gors, and Bestigors are all the old ones. This character, I have about 4 of him for some reason in my bit box. I don't know why. I've never ever bought this model. But yeah, at one point I've had 5. Obviously I used one in my army. So yeah, I don't know where he came from, but I got loads of him. He's a gorgeous model, so I'll let it slide. These are the Minotaurs that were released along with 7th edition, as was this big fella. I've got a number of them because I had a Savage Orc army, which I was using for 8th edition, which I really, really loved, but it had loads of giants in, and so I bought a load of these kits to convert up to give me different kinds of giants, and then I painted them all to look like different wrestlers. I am so sad. Why did I have to say that bit on a video? I should probably edit it out, but I won't. We both know it. We all know it. I said both, like only 2 people are watching. I have to actually give our subscribers credit now, because obviously Alan and I have always made jokes that there's like 2 people watching, but we're actually getting some decent hits now, and I feel it's actually quite rude to the people who take the time to watch our videos, so thank you very much for actually watching our videos. We appreciate it muchly. But anyway, back to it. This looks like the old Shaggoth, and then I'm pretty sure these were the plastic kit that was released a few years ago for Dragon Ogres. So there's no new models there, actual playable pieces. That being said, all the models do look really nice, except maybe the Ungors that I think could probably do with a bit of an improvement. But I can't remember if they got an improvement when the 7th edition book came out. I know the Minotaurs did, and I know Bestigors did. I don't think Gors did, and I don't think Ungors did. Obviously, Hounds were only recently done with Warriors of Chaos anyway, and obviously that was completely new. Point is, everything looks beautiful anyway, but it would be nice if we got some new models. Maybe like a plastic Shaggoth or something. I think he's still in there, fail cast at the minute. But I will check in a second. I've got the website open. So yeah, this is the new bit of scenery, and I'm going to read the article for this. I just want to sort of prefix this by saying that I know obviously I rip into Games Workshop quite a lot, as a lot of people do. I do really like the fact that we're getting kind of specialised terrain for specialised armies. It did used to be a case, and I've been collecting for, ever, that we used to get hills and grass, hills covered in grass, and we used to get trees, and for 40k we used to get tank traps and barrels, and then they got a bit better with the terrain, and we started to get some, we got all the Adeptus Mechanicus buildings and all the sort of Sector Imperialis and things like that. And they've just been going from strength to strength to strength with the terrain. I don't always like the cartoony way that the Age of Sigmar models, or a lot of them, are going. That new troll, for instance, for Warhammer Underworlds, I like it, don't get me wrong. It feels very cartoony, and it might just be the paint job. But when it comes to the scenery, I'm really, really impressed with what they're churning out. I'm interested to see what the price is going to be. And we'll go have a look at the rest of the article. It might give us an indication. I know it doesn't, but, I've given you guys hope. You might stay till the end of the video now. So, first up, the classic symbol of the beast herd is getting a long overdue miniature. The ironclastic herdstone of the Dark Gods. This towering terrain piece comes complete with the bones of sacrificed victims, corrupted relics, and stolen treasures of fallen foes. Everything you need to gain favour and attention of the gods. Now, as we've seen, we just looked at the picture of it. It's really, really beautiful. I can honestly see this being somewhat of a staple on anybody who plays Trollbloods as well in War Machines and Hordes. It's just a really, really nice bit of scenery. I'm hoping the price isn't too scandalous on it, and if that's the case, I'll get one for myself. If not, hopefully a couple of commissions will come in where I have to paint some of them, and then I'll get the best of both worlds. But anyway, so as well as providing an awesome centerpiece for your army, the Herdstone also provides powerful in-game benefits that work alongside the new Allegiance abilities. The magics of the Beasts of Chaos have always been fittingly raw and untamed, and now the full fury of this dark sorcery can be manifested in 3 new endless spells. So let's have a look at these before we go on with the article. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I just bought that box set and I got loads of endless spells in there. But we always knew as new tomes were going to come out and AoS armies got redone, that we were going to get new endless spells. So just stop. Just stop right away. I know what you're thinking. You're there already, sitting there waiting to type in the comments, but I just bought. I know you just bought. We all just bought. Just deal with it. They're pretty. So let's have a look at them. So this is really standard new Games Workshop stuff, balanced on a tiny little bit that could snap off at any minute. But other than that, functionally beautiful. Impractically beautiful, I believe, is the term I've been using for Games Workshop's models in the past year to 2 years. Impractically beautiful. It's gorgeous, but it's gonna snap. I'm thinking this little mound here is probably a bit of moulded plastic that goes onto the base, so maybe that gives it a bit more support, I don't know. So look at this next one. I have no issues with this. I think it's aesthetically beautiful. I'm not going to paint it as pretty as that, but that's whatever model I buy, that's going to be the case. So, it's attached to the base sufficiently. It's pretty. You can't really. Does exactly what it's meant to. It's a horn. It's probably got some horn-based powers. Now to this guy. I'm going to start with a positive. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm assuming this spell's going to cause a load of damage. And it looks fantastic. But seriously, Games Workshop, there's one leg. This whole model, and I know it's plastic, so it's not going to be too heavy, so don't give me crap for that. But look at it. All this back here hanging off the base. All this head and horns balanced on one freaking leg. Like, you couldn't have 2 legs, like this bent slightly so that attaches to the base. You couldn't put it on a flying stand. Nothing. No. Games Workshop, what are you trying to do to me? I mean, it's lucky I game a lot at home. It's not going to transport anywhere. But that's going to snap. It's going to snap off the base loads. The only way it won't is if they do that really cool thing, which it doesn't look like they have, where it's got like a pin and a bit of terrain and it molds in. And I may be wrong, and when I get one, I will unbox it and I will do a video on it built. And if I'm wrong and it is sturdy, I'll absolutely apologise. But as things stand, it looks beautiful, but it's absolutely ridiculous. One leg. Seriously, GW. What's wrong with you? One leg. Anyway, let's get back and finish the article. Because one leg. So anyway, Games Workshop then go on to say, we'll have news for you soon on exactly what they do, but it seems safe to say that the massive flaming charging bull that's inconveniently bounced on a base is probably not a subtle spell. Now, that stands to reason. That's going to do a lot of damage to anything it hits. And I'm looking forward to that side of it. So, Beasts of Chaos will be in stores in September. We'll have more previews on just what you can expect from Battletome Beasts of Chaos very soon. So keep your eyes on the tree line. And then it says to share this. So I'm doing my part. You're welcome, Games Workshop. So yeah, we had a bit of fun in the article, and obviously we mocked a little bit and we ranted a little bit, and hopefully you guys ranted along with me, and we complained that they're getting no new models. But actually, this is a really good thing. Not the new models thing. Shh, listen. It's really good that Beasts of Chaos are getting updated, and I like the fact that we are starting to get loads of updates of stuff that are genuinely in need of an update. I mean, there's only so many times they can push Sigmarites at us, or whatever they're called. Yeah, like, it is what it is. They're always, much like Marines in 40k, they're always going to get a lot of the new stuff because they're the ones that sell. And, I mean, from my point of view, I have Khorne, and Khorne have got a lot of love in AoS, so I can't bitch too much about that. But it is really nice to see that other stuff are getting, you know, the treatment. What I will say is, Games Workshop, Skaven, when. Preferably Clan Moulder. Preferably, in fact, let's put this in order. First place, a generalised Skaven book so I can use all my clans together in any kind of devious and maniacal way I'd like. If not, which we probably won't, to be fair, Clan Moulder, we need some love. You gave us beautiful rat ogres. You were like, hey look, 8th edition. Here's some beautiful rat ogres. Here's some plastic weapon teams. Here's a plastic warlock engineer that's one of the nicest models we've ever produced. And then you went, yeah, it's gone. But it's gone. And then you teased us with it by giving us it back very, very briefly. And we were like, well, we have to get some high elves with it, but I'm in. And then it went away, obviously, because you had sold them all, and that was all it was for, to get rid of the excess stock you had. Makes sense. You guys aren't stupid businessmen, especially not nowadays. You used to be. No offense, guys. No offense. So, yeah. Skaven need love. We need new plastic rat ogres. Badly. I Hell Pit Abomination's beautiful. Don't touch that. It's fine as it is. But we need new models. So, I'm going to end it on that note. I've ranted. I've complimented you on your giant piece of scenery. We've read through this article together, and as I said, you can read it yourself. Links in the description below. If this is your first time on our channel, feel free to check out some of our other videos. Maybe there's some that will grab your attention, and maybe you'll think about subscribing. We cover a lot of different things on this channel, not always just ranting at Games Workshop. So check us out. Give us a like, because it really does help get this video out to more people, because if we're getting lots of likes and views, then they share it to more people, who then in turn give us likes and views. It's a snowball effect that basically feeds Alan's ego, so it is really important to us. And then lastly, hit that bell for notifications, because YouTube don't like to tell you when our videos go out, because, well, it's YouTube, basically. So no guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, pray the dice gods and hope they smile upon you. Take care.